Yes, yippee.
I really wanted to know what that word
Well,
was.
I didn't know. So did I. A few.
Hi and welcome to the Running Channel. I'm Anna and today I'm joined by Rick and Kate, and together we're going to go through some top tips if you're getting started with running.
Yeah, whether you're a regular weekly runner, you're just getting into it, or maybe you're coming back from injury. Hopefully we'll give you some ideas of how you can keep your running on top form.
Now, as a beginner runner, you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all the jargon and the lingo that you've been hearing from more experienced runners. Don't worry about it. This video will tell you what you really need to know to get started and what you can start to worry about further down your running journey.
You really don't need loads of fancy kit to get out there and run, just a few basic essentials which we'll run through. You may find that further down the line you do want to invest in some more gear, but here are the key things that you do need to go out for a run. The first is a bit of an obvious one. You're going to need some trainers. Now, they don't need to be really expensive ones, just ones that are comfortable and suit your foot. It's really important you get footwear right when it comes to running, as it can help to prevent injury. Now, in order to get your footwear right, you can go to most sports shops and get your gait analysed. This isn't a scary process at all. All you have to do is jump on a treadmill for a few minutes. The experts will watch the way that you run and they'll recommend the right shoes for you. Now, those shoes could be any brand, and it doesn't matter what brand you end up going for. It's whatever suits your foot the best. The other thing that you're going to need is some clothes to run in. So whether that be shorts or leggings or t-shirt or vest, it's whatever you're comfortable with. It can just be some sports kit that you've got lying around at home. It doesn't have to be running specific, but try and make sure that it's made from a decent wicking material. That means it'll take the sweat away from your body. It also washes a bit better, doesn't hold on to smells quite as much as things like cotton does. One for the ladies too. Make sure you get a decent sports bra. 3 words for you: under, boob, chafe. Yeah, that's a real thing. If you go to a good sports shop, they should be able to help fit you with a decent sports bra. Okay, so now you're kitted out, it's time to think about the actual running side of things. Kate's going to kick us off with her first tip when it comes to beginning running.
Sure, so start off with a really gentle warm-up, 5 minutes of maybe brisk walking just to get the blood flowing. Don't do static stretches. Studies have shown that they actually don't prevent injury and could even hinder your run. So give them a miss, but do some dynamic stretches where you're sort of stretching as you move. The other thing is, when you start out, whether you're coming back from injury or starting from scratch, don't set yourself a really long chunk of time to run all in one go. It's absolutely fine to break it up into smaller chunks. That's how everybody starts off.
So when you're first starting out running, you could measure your runs in terms of time rather than distance. So instead of going out for a mile or a kilometre, go out for 10 or 20 minutes instead. That way you can see you're improving and you don't have to worry too much about measuring the distance that you're going at. And with that, you can also, as Kate mentioned, break it down into some running and some walking. And if you want to get more tips on the run-walk method, we have got a video on that on the Running Channel.
And if you do want to track your distance or just your time, it's a really good idea to download one of the many free apps that you can get on your smartphone. These are really good for tracking your progress as well over time. If you're doing the same route week in, week out, you can really see how you're starting to get quicker over that distance. Later on in your running journey, you might want to think about a GPS watch, but that's something you can worry about when you know you're really committed to running.
And as well as warming up with your running, it's really important to cool down too. So really bringing your heart rate down at a steady pace. So even just doing a walk at the end of your run, just to make sure that you're cooling down properly.
Another thing that you should really remember when you start running is go easy on yourself. It is quite hard to start with. You are pounding the pavements, you're using muscles that aren't used to working in that way, and so it can hurt the next day. And that's absolutely normal. We all feel like that to start with, but it will start to get easier.
So where do you want to run? Well, there's loads of options for you. The pavement is the first and most obvious one. That can get a little bit hard on your joints though. So why not think about some trail running? That provides a bit more cushioning underfoot, but watch out for those tree stumps and rocks that could make you fall over. Sandy beaches are great if you want to get a good shot for Instagram, but be warned, it's really hard running on sand, 1.6 times harder than running on a normal surface, in fact. And then there's the treadmill, staying indoors, especially if it's rainy or really cold outside. But just be aware with a treadmill that it can change the form and makes it a bit easier for you to run too, so your pace might be slightly off. There's nothing better than going out for a run in the rain, I promise. Remember, skin's waterproof. Plan when you're going to run, work out exactly when and where and stick it in your diary. That way you're more likely to stick to it. Or you could join a running club or recruit a running buddy like Rick. Hi Rick.
Hello. Then you've got someone to be accountable to, so it means you can't really just put it off for another day. If you want to improve, keep your running consistent, so try and get out at least twice a week. Then those aches and pains that you have when you start out will begin to fade away as your muscles gradually get used to it. Consistency, really important here. It's so much better to get out twice a week, every week, than say do 6 in the first week and then not go out again for the next 3.
I like to keep a diary of my runs as well and put a little note about how they felt. Maybe something was a bit sore, maybe you got a stitch. You can work out maybe if it's to do with your eating or drinking, that's what's caused it. But if you've got a diary of your runs to look back on, then you can help progress your running in future. So a great way to stay motivated is to set yourself some goals, and some goals that you can set yourself are SMART goals. So we've written down some words here just to give you a bit of a hint. So starting off, make your goal specific. So if you want to run further, how far do you want to run? Make that goal measurable as well, so you know whether you've achieved it or not. You can do that by using GPS watches or tracking your runs via an app or a diary. Equally, make your goal achievable. Let's face it, we're not all going to be winning the London Marathon anytime soon. Isn't that right, Paula? But you can shave a few seconds off a PB, or just make sure that your goal is something that you are going to be able to achieve. Make it a realistic goal as well. As I say, we're not going to be winning the London Marathon anytime soon, but make that goal realistic to within your capabilities and with your own abilities too. And make it time related too. So this time related one means that you have a goal in mind and you've got a date that you're going to do it by. So it might be for a certain number of weeks, you might have a specific race in mind, that kind of thing. So we've given you a few ideas of goals that you could set yourself. Book in for a race, for example, then you manage to tick off all of these and you know exactly when you want to hit your goal by. Or it might be that you just want to run continuously. Maybe you've been starting off by doing some run walking and you want to make your running last for a certain amount of time. Or it might not be specific to running overall. It might be that you just want to get fit or lose a bit of weight. But those are all ideas of SMART goals that you can set for yourself. Hopefully you found some tips there that are useful to help you get out and start running. We've gone through the kind of kit that you need, where you could run and how to set some goals. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the running channel and check out some of our other videos too. If you have any questions, leave us a comment and we'll see you next time.